Hi, my name is NURSHAZLYATUL binti Muhammad NASIR.
Hi, my name is SITI NURZULAIKHA binti ZAIHASRA.
Hi, my name is NURSHAZANA binti TAJUDDIN.
Hi, my name is SYAHIIRAH binti KAHER NORDI.
Assalamualaikum. Good day everyone. I will begin by explaining the importance of law and ethics in information management. So today we live in a world where information is everywhere. Every time we use the internet, post something on social media or fill in a form online, we are giving away information. This information can be very sensitive, like our personal details or location. That's why it's important to manage it carefully. Law helps protect our rights. Ethics helps guide our actions. Without these two, people might misuse information, such as stealing, leaking, or selling data. So in these presentations, we will show how law and ethics work together to help information professionals act responsibly and fairly.
The first role is to regulate. This means setting limits and rules to control how information is used. For example, Malaysia has a law called PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act, which requires companies to ask permission before collecting someone's data. Other laws include GDPR in Europe and CCPA in the USA. This law helps protect users from harm. But sometimes, the law doesn't cover everything, so ethics is also needed. Ethics helps people decide what is right even when the law is silent. For example, even if it's legal to track users online, is it fair? That's where ethics play a role.
Law also help to set company policy. They are the official rule followed by organization. For example, company needs clear steps for when there is a data breach. But again, ethics help when policy are not enough. Like when a library has to decide whether to give access to a book that may be sensitive or offensive to someone. There is not stopping it, but ethically we think about what's fair and respectful.
Law and ethics are very important in the field of information science. This field includes librarians, archivists, data manager, and more. We deal with storing, organizing, and sharing information. For example, when librarians store books online, they must follow copyright laws. If they ignore the law, they can be fined. But ethics also tell us to give equal access. Some users may be blind or poor, so we need to provide materials in braille or free resources. That's an ethical decision, not just a legal one.
Next, I will explain the difference between law, ethics, standards, and procedures. Law is a rule made by the government. If you break it, you can be punished. Ethics is about what is right and wrong. It is not a law, but it is still important. Standards are like guidelines. For example, ISO 27001 is a standard for information security, and procedures are steps we follow in an organization, like how to back up data or respond to a system crash. All four are important to manage information properly.
Let's look at their differences. Law are official and must be followed. Ethics is more about our personal and professional values. Standards are not forced, but following them shows qualities. Procedures are specific steps in a company. For example, law says protect data. Ethics says be honest. A standard says use strong password. And a procedure says change password every 3 months. So each one helps in a different ways.
Even though there are different law, ethics, standard, and procedure work together, they all promote safe and responsible use of information. They help build trust between user and organization. If a company breaks any of these, people will lose trust, and the company can get punished or lose customer. That's why these four elements must be used together.
Now, I'll talk about intellectual property or IP. This means anything someone creates, like books,
songs, videos, or designs. Laws such as Copyright Act and Trademark Act protect this creation. If someone copies your work without permission, that's illegal. But ethics also teach us to respect others' ideas. For example, in school, we don't copy assignments, we cite our sources. That's both illegal and ethical. Respecting IP encourages more creativity.
Data privacy means we have control over our personal data. Data security means that data is protected from leaks or hackers. PDPA helps protect this in Malaysia. For example, banks must keep your personal info safe. But ethics means we also need to be transparent. Users should know how their data is used. If there's a data breach, they must be told quickly. So, law and ethics work together to protect users.
Information should be fair and equal for everyone, but not all people have the same access. Some live in rural areas or have disabilities. Law protects them from being ignored, but ethics says we must do more, like provide ramps, free books, or free Wi-Fi. This makes sure everyone can learn and grow. It's our ethical responsibility to include everyone, even if the law doesn't say we must.
Good governance means doing things the right way in an organization. It includes being fair, transparent, and responsible. Laws like PDPA help by requiring companies to keep audit trail and follow proper rules. But ethics remind us to make decisions that are fair even if the law is unclear. A good leader must follow both law and their conscience.
To conclude, law and ethics are not the same, but they work together. Law helps us follow the rules. Ethics help us do what is right. In information management, both are needed to protect users, promote fairness, and build trust.